homogeneous regions, we'll find that Northwest India was minus 32.6% deficient. East and Northeast India was 13.3% deficient. Central India 13.7% deficient, and South Peninsular India was 14.2% above normal. That means South India got good rainfall activity, as you can find out subdivision-wise rainfall distribution on the right-hand side at the top. The rainfall activity was below normal, or you can say the deficient over most subdivisions in northern India and eastern India. Only South India, some subdivisions of West Central India, and then Northeast India, it has normal to above normal rainfall activity. The diagram on that below is the rainfall anomaly over monsoon core zone, that is over Central India. You're going to find out that Central India rainfall in most of the days was below normal, except last 2 to 3 days in the month of June, and initially 1 or 2 days where it was above normal. Now, current status as on 30th June, if you just look at for different parts of the countries, for example, Northwest India, it got good rainfall activity starting from 20th June onwards. Prior to that, there was not much activity. East and Northeast India, if you just look at, it had got good spell in the beginning of the month, one spell, that is 1 to 4 June. Then another spell started on 13th June to 20th June, and third spell commenced towards the end of the month, that is last week of the June. Looking at the Central India, you will find that rainfall activity picked up only from 21st June. And South Peninsular India, it was almost okay. Many of the days it was normal or above normal rainfall activity. Now, if I compare this rainfall with the past rainfall, what you find actually in 2009, which was a deficient year, the all India rainfall was 87.5 millimeter in the month of June. It was followed by 2014, 2019, 2012, 2010, 2005, and 2024. So this is the sixth, you can say this is during the June 2024, all India rainfall was 147.2 millimeter, which is 32nd lowest since 1901 and 7th lowest since 2001. The prior lowest rainfalls, as we say, that 2009, it was 87.5 in recent years. Now, if I look at the performance of monsoon during June rainfall below normal categories, so on the left-hand side table, you will find that these are the years when June was deficient, 1950 onwards, up to 2024. The deficient years are shown here, where rainfall was at least below normal, you can say. Not deficient exactly, it was the below normal, you can say, below normal activity. And corresponding rainfall in July, August, and September are shown here, as well as the June, July, August, September seasonal rainfall is also shown here. And also in different colors, the blue colors indicates it was the La Nina or negative IOD, and orange color indicates it is El Nino or positive IOD conditions. So what we find from this analysis, that is from 1950 onwards, if you consider data, there are 20 years out of 25 years when June rainfall was below normal, July rainfall was normal or above normal. So that means statistically speaking, looking at the rainfall in the month of June, we can expect normal to above normal rainfall activity in the month of July. So 20 out of 25, so that means 80%. There is 80% probability that in the month of July, you will have normal to above normal rainfall activity. Similarly, if I consider the June rainfall below normal, that is less than 92%, in 17 out of 25 years, southeast monsoon rainfall was normal or above normal. So it gives a good confidence that month of July will have good rainfall activity, and also the season, the monsoon rainfall for the season is also expected to be normal or above normal, just based on statistics. I'm not looking at the model now. Statistics says that 17 out of 25, that means there is 68% chance that the seasonal rainfall will be normal or above normal, looking at the realized rainfall in the month of June. Now, you might be thinking, what are the factors which caused this type of below normal rainfall activity in the month of June? It was mainly, I was discussing in the previous slide, it was mainly during the period of 10 to 18 June. It was highly deficient, which led to the below normal rainfall activity for the month of June. And during this period, if you just look at, monsoon did not advance further. Monsoon advancement was slow. Rainfall activity improved after 19 June and good rainfall received during last 4 days. The mid-seasonal oscillation, which governs mostly the intra-seasonal oscillation of rainfall activity during monsoon season, was weak during most of the initial days of June, and strength of Manjeo mid-seasonal oscillation increased during the end of June and moved to Indian Ocean region, which helped in the formation of low pressure area over the Head Bay of Bengal during the last week of June. The formation of low pressure area on 28th June, actually it occurred in 27th midnight, over Head Bay of Bengal, helped to improve the monsoon flow and hence increase in rainfall activity for most parts of the country. So, as you can see here, rainfall activity increased from 27th onwards because of these low pressure systems. Because prior to formation of low pressure area, there was the cyclonic circulation over the same region on 27th, and on 26th it was over Central Bay of Bengal. Therefore, gradually the rainfall increased from 27th onwards, and it continued till the end of the month, and now today also it continued the good rainfall activity. So I am summarizing that the efficient rainfall or the below normal rainfall during month of June can be attributed to 3 important factors. One is that the sluggish advance of the monsoon circulation or monsoon advance over the northern part and central part of the northern and eastern part of the country. Number 2, there was only one low pressure area developed towards the end of June, and prior to that there's no low pressure or cyclonic circulation over the Bay of Bengal. And normally we get 3 low pressure systems and about 11 days of low pressure systems. But this time it was only 3 days and only 1 low pressure system. So there's low pressure system activity was quite significantly low or less during the month of June. And third factor was the mid-July oscillation was not favorable in many days, especially during 10th, 28th, and therefore we could not get enhanced convection and also enhanced low pressure systems or circulations. Now, this is major synaptic systems. You will look at, I was just telling that low pressure systems. So this is the statistics in June 2024. We did not have only 1 low pressure was there, and 3 days, that is 28, 29, and 30th it occurred. But normally we get 3 low pressure systems and 11 number of days. So by that way, it was subdued. If I look at the number of different years, if I just look at from 2001 onwards, you will find that it was quite significantly less compared to the different stages. Now let us look at what happened to the heavy rainfall activity. If you look at the heavy rainfall activity, you will find that there have been 3 regions of extremely heavy rainfall activity in the month of June. One is the eastern, that is northeastern states, especially South and West Bengal, Sikkim, and Assam. So this is the area where we got extremely heavy rainfall activity. Another area was the west coast, that is Konkan and Karnataka coast, where we got extremely heavy rainfall activity. And there was another area, that is Delhi, where we got on 28th early morning the extremely heavy rainfall activity. So another activity we got in the Saurashtra region in 1 day. Now, if I compare this heavy rainfall activity with the previous years, what I find that this year there was 51 occurrences or events of extremely heavy rainfall compared to last year 62 and 72 in 2022, 35 in 2021, and 36 in 2020. And what is the result actually? Because of this extreme heavy rainfall activity, there was flood in Sikkim, southern West Bengal, and Assam. This is the most important or most adverse impact. It was the very intense flood over Assam. Then we have got the flooding situation, the urban flooding, you can say, over Delhi and neighborhood. And these 2 are the important flood situations we will discuss in detail. Now, if you look at the Delhi fast, because it is nearby only, 28th is occurred. The maximum rainfall activity was 228.1 millimeter over Safdarjung. It was followed by Lodi Road 192.8, and then you have got the Rees 150.4 and Delhi University 139, etc. So highest was 228.1 millimeter. On the right hand side, you can find out the animation, radar animation, and orange and red color indicates the maximum reflective clouds, so that means most intense thunderstorm clouds. So what happened actually? The rainfall was confined between 3 to 6. So most of the rainfall amount occurred between 3 to 6 out of, if you consider 24 hours cumulative rainfall in Safdarjung. During this event, we find that 148.5 millimeter reported during 2:30 to 5:30 hours IST, and 74.4 millimeter during 5:30 to 8:30 hours IST. In Palam also, out of 106.6 millimeter, 75.4 millimeter reported 2:30 to 5:30, and then 13.6 millimeter from 5:30 to 8:30 IST. So you can just see that in the beginning of, if you look at the satellite picture in the beginning there, it was a north-south oriented deep convective cloud mass as measured by the WL radar, which led to this intense rainfall activity in a certain duration. Amount of rainfall, if we just look at hourly basis, we'll discuss later hours. You can just see this one, how it is oriented, how it occurred in C2. Now, I have taken just two examples here. One is the Delhi University, another is the Lodi Road. So here is the hourly rainfall. So 3 hours IST on the left-hand side. That indicates rainfall up to 3 hours IST. That means 2 to 3 rainfall. It was 3 millimeter cumulative, and there was no rainfall during that period. Then if I go to 3 to 4, rainfall was 9.5, and total became 15.5. And okay, so 5, that's 4 to 5 UTC, the rainfall was 9.5 millimeter, and then it became actually around 25. Then 6 UTC, that is 5 to, that's not 6 UTC, 6 hours IST. That 5 to 6 hours IST, you just look at it was 91 millimeters. So 5 to 6 hours IST, rainfall over Delhi University was 91 millimeter, and cumulative become 116, something like that. Then 6 to 7, if you just look at it, was 20 millimeters. Then 7 to 8, it was 2 millimeters. So this, if you just look at the distribution hourly, you find that 5 to 6 hours IST, it was the maximum rainfall, the 91 millimeter, and otherwise it was only light to moderate rainfall. So most intense rainfall occurred between 5 to 6, and same is the case if you consider Lodi Road also. You've got 64 millimeter, 4 to 5, and 89 millimeter between 5 to 6. So these amount, 91 millimeter, 89 millimeter, does not warrant to be declared as cloudburst, but it is very much similar, or you can very close to the cloudburst. Now let us look at the monthly rainfall. So in the one-day rainfall in Delhi, how it happened and how it compensated the entire amount of rainfall and becomes a record rainfall. So in the month of June, if you just look at in 1936, 24 June 1936, it is 235.5 mm, so it is a fast rank, and then it is 228.1 mm, which we got today, that is the second rank. That means this cumulative 24 hours rainfall, what you got in Delhi, it was the highest after 1936. Otherwise, in the recent years, we got in 1990, 1981, we got 191.6. 1933 also we got 139.7. That means what I want to say that heavy to very heavy rainfall occurs in the month of June also, but extreme heavy rainfall phenomena is very rare, and it has occurred, highest has been in 1936, followed by 2024. If I look at the similar situation in July, because we are going towards July, in July, highest rainfall recorded 24 hours rainfall I'm talking about, recorded so far is 266.2 millimeter, and that occurred on 21 July 1958, followed by 1982, 1944, 1923. So what I want to say is that in the month of July also you can climatologically you can expect extreme heavy rainfall activity over Delhi, and heavy to very heavy rainfall of course occurs over Delhi. In the month of August, if you just look at rainfall amount decreases, the highest ever rainfall amount is 184.0 millimeter that occurred in 1961, 2nd August. Now, if I compare the monthly rainfall, total monthly rainfall of June during the period say 1901 to 2024, you will find that it was, of course, the statistics of 2 till 28 June. So it is the third highest, you can say. The highest has been 415.8 millimeter in 1936, and followed by 1933. And in 2024, so far in 28 June, of course, I'm sorry, I have not put up to 30th June. It is 234.5. Now you might be thinking what happened on that day actually. Yeah, monsoon on that day became very active because of the improvement in Bay of Bengal. As I was telling a little earlier, 26th cyclone circulation formed here, and 27th it lay here. In 27th midnight, it became low pressure area. The Bay of Bengal, North Bay of Bengal, had the low pressure area with adjoining areas of North Odisha and West Bengal. With this low pressure, simultaneously, there was cyclonic circulation over northwest MP, another over Haryana in different levels, of course, and another over South Gujarat or Saurashtra, you can say. So, in association with these systems, so black line, but it's drawn here, this is the wind flow. This wind flow commenced. There was convergence of wind here with the low pressure area. At the same time, this low pressure area helped the southeasterly winds to reach towards Delhi. And in Delhi, since there was cyclonic circulation in and around Delhi, these strong winds became stronger. And gradually, it led to the convergence of warm and moist air. At the same time, you can find out a trough here. This trough was running north-south trough because of the western disturbances. But this trough was not so deep and levels, but in the lower and middle troposphere, we could find the trough. So there is a combination of these two types of air mass. But if you look at the trajectory of the air mass, where from the wind came to Delhi, leading to this type of convergence and rainfall activity, we analyzed that. We found that it was dominated by the southeasterly winds coming from Bay of Bengal, which is warm and moist, and it was supported by the cyclonic circulation in and around Delhi. At the same time, there was an anticyclone circulation drawn in blue color here at a height of 9 to 12 kilometers, which provided the divergence at that height. So if you've got a water pipe, the water pipe is open on both the ends, then flow continues. There could be good convergence of water in one end and divergence of water in the other end. Similarly, in the air also, because of the cyclone circulation of pressure area, there is convergence of air. At the upper level, this anticyclone provided the divergence, and hence air could be lifted. And this lifting of air led to the intense thunderstorm activity. So it was intense thunderstorm activity during that period associated with copious amount of rainfall. Now, I will come to the next spell, that is extreme heavy rainfall spell over Northeast India, that is Southern West Bengal and Sikkim during 12 to 20 June, which caused the flood over the area. If you remember, it was a heavy to very heavy rainfall during the period of 13 to 20 June over Southern West Bengal, Sikkim, and over Assam, it is 13 to 17 June. Exceptionally heavy rainfall also occurred over Meghalaya on 15th and 18th June. Highest rainfall was 64 centimeter in Monsoon, 51 centimeter in Cherrapunji, 40 centimeter in Sela on 15 June, and 78 centimeter in Monsoon, Cherrapunji, 43 centimeter. That's RK Mission, Ramakrishna Mission, and Cherrapunji, our observatory was 39, and like that on 18th June. Such extreme heavy rainfall spells also caused flood-like scenario and impacted lives in the region. Such extreme and exceptional heavy rainfall was due to the presence of a cyclonic circulation over the area and strong southeasterly southerly winds which hit the Garapasi Jaintia hills, and hence there is upliftment of the moist air leading to thunderstorms and heavy rainfall activity. Now, this particular case also, we just look at, it was a large-scale event which occurs in the month of June, and the forecast was provided for this purpose. Extreme heavy rainfall warning with red color impact-based information were provided to the various stakeholders. And this is the type of forecast which is issued for that June event in northeastern states, red color warning and orange color warnings. Now let's look at what happened to our long-range forecast. That is the forecast for the month of June. On the left-hand side diagram, you see the actual category of rainfall. What happened? Blue indicates above normal rainfall, orange indicates below normal rainfall, and green indicates the normal rainfall activity. So what you find from this diagram that southern India got good rainfall activity, that is normal to above-normal rainfall activity, and northern India especially got, and eastern India especially got the below normal rainfall activity. If I compare with the forecast, right-hand side is the forecast what we issued, you will find that both the diagrams are almost similar. That means the South India normal to above-normal rainfall activity could be predicted well. Northern India and Eastern India below normal rainfall activity also could be predicted well, but only if you just look at certain parts of northeastern states. There you can say some kind of mismatch is there, but other I will say that almost 80 to 90% correlation is there between the forecast rainfall category and the actual rainfall category in the month of June. Now this was the temperature during the month of June, and you will find that maximum temperature was quite high over northern parts of the country and eastern parts of the country. And below diagram, the anomaly means deviation from the long period average. It indicates that there was highly above the normal temperature, maximum temperature, and it could be about 3 to 5 degrees Celsius, especially over the Indo-Gangetic plains and adjoining eastern India and northwest India. Minimum temperature is also higher in this area. So that means it was not simply the heated conditions, but also the warm night conditions prevailed over northwest India and adjoining central India and eastern India during the month of June on many days. Now, if you just look at all India, what is the rank of temperature, you will find that all India maximum temperature, minimum temperature, and mean temperature did not have such highest rank. But northwest India, if I consider, it was the warmest. Since 1901, if I look at northwest India, it was the warmest year for the June 2024. The data is based on 1901 to 2024. In terms of minimum temperature, it was the second warmest. And the minimum temperature, mean temperature, we consider maximum plus mean divided by 2, then it is also the warmest. So what I want to say is that northwest India was most affected because of the rise in temperature that we have seen in terms of the heat waves, their duration, their intensity, and frequency. East and northeast India, if you just look at, it was 12th rank in maximum temperature, and minimum temperature was the highest in this area. That warm night also prevailed over east and northeast India, and mean temperature was the 5th in the rank. Central India, it was not having any rank because also there was no heat wave condition in central India also. And South India also there is no such thing. So this slide I will summarize that northwest India and eastern India had higher temperature and accordingly the higher heat wave conditions. Now let us look at the highest temperature recorded with corresponding ranks since 1901. If I just look at the same thing what I showed there, this is the same thing. So 2024 it was the highest rank, and accordingly the next highest, if you just look at it was 1958, then 1926, 1947, 1924. So this is one of the highest June, you can say, compared to the past data of 1901, maximum temperature of northwest India. Similarly, northwest India, if I consider the minimum temperature also, you will find the rank 2 in 2024. So this is the data, same data what I have explained in previous slide. I'll just quit this one. Then this is the time series of northwest India. You can see that how the temperature was higher compared to the previous years, and this is the northwest India minimum temperature. Blue one is northwest India minimum temperature, and this yellow one is northwest India mean temperature, the variation over the period of time. This is the east and northeast India. This is the minimum temperature. The blue one is minimum temperature, and this is the mean temperature. That is the yellow one or red one. That also you can see it has been higher in the 2020. Now let us look at the heat wave conditions. What happened actually on the left-hand side diagram? This is the normal. Normally, how many days of heat wave we encounter? That is shown here for June based on data of 1961 to 2010. It shows that yes, in the month of June you get heat wave conditions over northern parts of the country and also eastern parts of the country. A forecast, let's look at, we issued the forecast on 27th of May, indicating that northwest India and adjoining eastern and central India we will have heat wave conditions. and it will be above normal. This color is above normal. So we predicted that there will be above normal heat wave days over most areas of northwest India and neighboring areas of central and eastern India. And right hand side is the heat wave days for different meteorological divisions. You will find that the red one is usually the above normal conditions, and that happened. So I would say that the heat wave condition in the month of June was quite reasonably predicted by our monthly forecast. Now let us look at for the season, April to June. The June season is ending. For April to June, this was the climatology on the left-hand side diagram. Right-hand side is the forecast, and rightmost is the actual. You'll find that most of the subdivisions where we predicted that there will be heat wave conditions above normal, it has occurred for these regions. Now let us look at what happened if I compare the different years, 2010 onwards. If I compare, that is number of heat wave days and number of met subdivisions taken together. But you find that in 2010, the number was 578. 578 met subdivision days of heat wave we realized in 2010. And in 2024, it was 536. That's why I want to say that after 2010, this year, the heat wave condition was more durable. This just compares the duration and the spatial impact. It was more spatially distributed and more durable in 2024 in the past as compared to past years after 2010. 2010 was more durable compared to 2024. And all this happened because of the 4 spells of heat wave. As all of us know that there are different spells. The first spell was the 5th to 7th April. Then second spell started in 15th April to 7th May. And then third spell started from 16th May to 5th June, you can say. And then 7th June to 20th June at the 4th spell. Now, this is the verification of the temperature, maximum temperature forecast. You can see that left-hand side is the actual maximum temperature category. It is above normal, it is orange color, and below normal is the blue color, and green color is the normal. And right-hand side, accordingly, is the forecast temperature, what we issued on 27th May. But you find that it has been almost correct in many parts of the country, except northeastern states. In northeastern states, it was below normal, whereas the prediction was the above normal maximum temperature. Similarly, if I consider the minimum temperature, it came up well in different parts of the country, except the South Peninsula, where it has been normal to below normal minimum temperature, but prediction was above normal minimum temperature. Now, we also predicted the heat wave in extended range that is forecast for next 2 weeks. This was a new phenomena we introduced this summer season, the extended range forecast of heat wave in graphical manner. And you can see the week 1 forecast comparison here. This is the week 1 forecast, May to 5 June. And this was the number of days of heat wave prevailed as per the forecast. So this is for the period 6 June to 12 June. This is the forecast. This is the and this is the 14th June to 20th June. This is the forecast. And this is the actual. And this is the 21 June to 27 June. And this is the actual. So what you find that actually the area, the trend, the intensity of the heat wave conditions could be predicted well in the extended range up to 2 weeks. This is the second week. The prediction was this one, and it all happened this one. The second, this is the period for 6 June to 12 June. This was the prediction. It happened like this. And this is the period 13 to 19 June. This was the prediction of heat wave conditions. And it happened like this. So by that way, to a large extent, in the extended range, heat wave spell could be predicted. Now let us look at the medium range forecast. What happened during the monsoon season? If you look at the probability of detection, 2024 performance of IMD in predicting heat wave, vis-a-vis 2019 to 2023, last 5 years average skill. So what we find that the day 1, it was almost similar, 26% and 8%. Because day 1, I would say it is not so much important. Day 1 forecast, our forecast IMD goes by around 1:30 or so, and the heat wave occurs around 3 p.m., by 2:30 or 3 p.m. Therefore, you don't have much lead period of day 1, and therefore I will not so much stress upon day 1 forecast. So day 2 forecast is 88% this year compared to 81% of the last 5 years average probability detection. For day 3, it is 77%, and the previous 5 years average is 61%. Day 4 is 68% compared to 46% earlier, and day 60% this year compared to 39% earlier. So there has been a significant improvement with respect to forecast accuracy this year compared to previous 5 years, and especially for day 3, day 4, day 5, you can say that there is a significant improvement by about 26%, 46%, and 54% compared to past 5 years. Now let's look at the large-scale processes. The El Nino, as all of us know, that it is a neutral condition now. El Nino 3.4 is 0.3. Latest last week average is 0.3. So there is a changeover. Now we have, as we predicted earlier, the El Nino condition has vanished, and now the neutral condition is prevailing over the Pacific. Now, if you look at the forecast for the ENSO conditions, you find that the blue color indicates the La Nina and gray color indicates neutral conditions. The May, June, July, if you just look at it, is neutral conditions. June, July, August, neutral conditions dominating. July, August, September, if I just look at the La Nina conditions, that means we are predicting, that we are expecting that La Nina condition is likely to prevail during second half of the monsoon season, that is August, September. Okay, so similar in the situation with respect to various types of models. Indian Ocean dipole, if you just look at it, shows that neutral condition. At present, neutral condition is prevailing, and neutral condition is likely to prevail during this monsoon season. Okay, this is our own model. It agrees with what other global models are suggesting. Now we'll come to the forecast for the month of July. As all of us know that from 2021, IMD went for a paradigm shift in its long-range forecast. We introduced the forecast for the entire country. We introduced the forecast for every month quantitatively. In that way, today we are going to issue the long-range forecast of rainfall for the country during July 2024. So this is the forecast. The 2024 July rainfall averaged over the country as a whole is most likely to be above normal. When I say above normal, that means the rainfall over the country as a whole is likely to be more than 106% of the long period average. Normal for July is defined as 94% to 106%. That means 100 plus minus 6. So 100 more, it is more than 106% is expected in the month of July. That means it is above normal rainfall activity. And normal rainfall is 28.04 centimeter based on the data of 1971 to 2020. So if I look at the distribution, the blue color or the deep blue color or violet color indicates the above normal rainfall probability. Yellow color indicates below normal rainfall probability. Green color indicates normal rainfall probability. So if you just look at this map on the left hand side, you will find that most parts of the country is expected to get above normal rainfall activity, except the northeastern states, some parts of East UP and adjoining Bihar, some parts of Jharkhand, and southeast peninsula, Ladakh, where we can expect the below normal rainfall activity. So therefore, if I consider the agriculture, for example, July is the month of sowing, and therefore this rainfall activity will certainly help the agriculture and the farmers to have a good agriculture practices. And if you look at the northeastern states, here rainfall is expected to be less than normal. That means the flood-like situation which prevailed in the month of June may not be so in the month of July. So therefore, the deficient rainfall activity may be helpful to minimize the probability of flood over the region. But however, if you just consider the Western Himalayan region, where we are expecting above normal rainfall activity, it can lead to various types of disasters like localized flooding or urban flooding, cloudbursts, landslides, etc. And of course, the riverine flooding. So all these, however, we will be monitoring and providing information on day-to-day basis. Now, this is the maximum temperature what we are expecting. You will find that there is a mixed forecast here. Many parts of Northwest India, we are expecting below normal normal temperature. Similarly, South Peninsula, many parts you will find the below normal or normal maximum temperature. But northeastern states, many parts of central India, the west coast, we are expecting the above normal maximum temperature. If I look at the minimum temperature during July 2024, then most parts of the country we can expect the above normal minimum temperature, because it is a good monsoon year. It is a good monsoon month we are predicting. In a good monsoon month, sky will be completely cloudy many times. Therefore, the minimum temperature will be higher than normal in a cloudy night. So therefore, the prediction of minimum temperature is in agreement. The prediction of maximum temperature is in agreement with the rainfall predictions. So however, you can expect some lower than normal minimum temperature in some pockets in northwest India and then central India and some pockets of southeastern India. So this is the summary. What I want to say that monthly rainfall for July is likely to be above normal, and that means more than 106% for the country as a whole. And above normal rainfall is likely over most parts of the country, except many parts of northeast India and some parts of northwest east and southeast peninsula. Surface air temperature over India during July, monthly minimum temperatures are most likely to be above normal over many parts of the country. And maximum temperature, if you just look at similarly, it's likely to be normal to below normal over many parts of the northeast India and south peninsular India, and above normal across the central India, east and northeast India, and along the west. The sea surface temperature, as we discussed, you will find that neutral ENSO condition is prevailing, and La Nina conditions are expected during second half of the monsoon season, that is during August and September. So we'll issue the forecast for the rainfall during second half of the season, August plus September, and August towards end of July 2024. मैं अभी आप सभी को हिंदी में जानकारी देना चाहूंगा कि पूरे देश में जुलाई की औसत वर्षा सामान्य से ऊपर, दीर्घावधि औसत यानी एलपीए का 106% से ज्यादा होने की सबसे अधिक संभावना है। 1971 से 2020 तक अवधि का जो डाटा है, इसको देखें तो जुलाई का लॉन्ग पीरियड एवरेज रेनफॉल लगभग 28.04 सेंटीमीटर है। जुलाई के दौरान देश के अधिकांश हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक वर्षा होने की संभावना है। केवल पूर्वोत्तर भारत के कोई क्षेत्रों और उत्तर पश्चिम भारत के कुछ हिस्सों, पूर्व और दक्षिण पूर्व प्रायद्वीप भारत को छोड़कर, जहां सामान्य से नीचे वर्षा होने की संभावना है। मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर की बात करें जुलाई 2024 के दौरान उत्तर पश्चिम भारत और पश्चिम तट को छोड़कर दक्षिण प्रायद्वीप भारत में अधिकतम तापमान सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से नीचे रहने की संभावना है। मध्य भारत, पूर्व और पूर्वोत्तर भारत और पश्चिम तट के साथ साथ की कई हिस्सों में सामान्य से अधिक तापमान रहने का संभावना है। मिनिमम टेम्परेचर की बात करें जुलाई 2024 के दौरान देश के कई हिस्सों में मासिक न्यूनतम तापमान सामान्य से अधिक रहने की संभावना है। केवल उत्तर पश्चिम भारत के कुछ हिस्सों, मध्य भारत के आसपास के क्षेत्रों और दक्षिण पूर्व भारत प्रायद्वीप के कुछ इलाकों को छोड़कर, जहां सामान्य से लेकर सामान्य से नीचे न्यूनतम तापमान होने की संभावना दिखाई देता है। अभी हम 4 हफ्ते की बात करें, जैसे हम जुलाई को लॉन्ग रेंज फोरकास्ट देखें कि अच्छा बारिश होने वाला है, और अभी हम एक्सटेंडेड रेंज फोरकास्ट फॉर नेक्स्ट 4 वीक्स देखें तो 25 जुलाई तक आप देखेंगे कि मोस्ट पार्ट्स ऑफ कंट्री में अच्छा बारिश दिखाई दे रहा है, वीक 1, वीक 2 एंड वीक 3 और वीक 4 तक। ये दोनों मॉडल है हमारा, जो एक नेशनल सेंटर फॉर मेट्रोलॉजी वेदर फोरकास्टिंग और दूसरा मॉडल यहाँ IMD में रन होता है। दोनों मॉडल से ये संभावना दिखाई दे रहा है कि अच्छा बारिश होगा जुलाई महीना में। और आज का पूर्वानुमान देखिए नेक्स्ट 5 डेज के लिए, तो सतर्क सूचना जारी किया गया है कि इंडो-गैंजेटिक प्लेन्स में, नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स में और गुजरात में आज अच्छा बारिश होगा, और वेस्ट कोस्ट इलाके में अच्छा बारिश होगा। और लगभग बहुत सारे इलाके में अभी एक्टिव फेज ऑफ मानसून चल रहा है, जैसे कि नॉर्थ वेस्ट इंडिया, ईस्टर्न इंडिया और नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न इंडिया। नेक्स्ट 4 to 5 डेज के लिए ये एरिया में मानसून एक्टिव रहेगा, और मानसून एक्टिव रहने से अच्छा बारिश होगा। हेवी टू वेरी हेवी रेनफॉल के साथ साथ कहीं कहीं एक्सट्रीमली हेवी रेनफॉल हो सकता है। जो रेड कलर आप दिख रहे हैं वो एरिया में हम एक्सट्रीमली हेवी रेनफॉल एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं। यानी नॉर्थ ईस्टर्न स्टेट्स और गुजरात में आज हम एक्सट्रीमली हेवी रेनफॉल एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं, और कल असम, मेघालय और उत्तराखंड में हम एक्सट्रीमली हेवी रेनफॉल रिकॉर्ड करने का संभावना दिखाई दे रहा है। और दूसरा जगह में जो ऑरेंज कलर दिखाई दे रहा है आपको हेवी टू वेरी हेवी रेनफॉल होने का संभावना है अगले 5 दिन के अंदर। येलो कलर हेवी रेनफॉल का संभावना को बताती है। सो इसके साथ हम हमारा जो प्रेजेंटेशन को समाप्त कर रहे हैं। आपका कोई प्रश्न है तो आप मुझे पूछ सकते हैं।
हेलो।
हाँ बोलिए जी, बोलिए।
Sir, Jacob from the Hindu.
बोलिए।
I just have one question. This goes back to the Delhi rainfall, heavy rainfall that we had seen. So, sir, on the previous day, that is on the 27th of June, you had issued a warning saying that it was basically an orange alert, and you had alerted that there could be heavy rainfall in the northwest plains. But sir, what we saw was literally extremely unprecedented rainfall, as far as Delhi was concerned. So do you think that was beyond, the capabilities of forecasting, or do you think that you had given adequate warning regarding the quantum? Thank you.
Yeah, that's what I expect. Thank you, Mr. Jacobji. So there are certain situations where it becomes just impossible. For example, the phenomena I explained you, it occurred in 2 hours, 4 to 6 mainly.
Okay.
And if you consider subsurging Lodi Road area, it was almost 5 to 6 when the rainfall occurred, about 91 millimeter. It's just like Bradford is 100 millimeter, and it was 91 millimeter. So this type of very confined in spatial scale and temporal scale activity is a challenge, not only in India, but also throughout the globe. So this is popularly called as cloud burst, but this is an intense thunderstorm activity. Of course, in association with the large-scale synoptic weather systems that I explained you, what phenomena has led to this type of activity that I explained you. Certainly, yes. It is a challenge, and we have come a long way. If you compare this type of rainfall activity in Mumbai in 2005 and now,
yes.
And if you compare activity in 2021 and in Uttarakhand and 2013 in Uttarakhand, so it has demonstrated that not only the forecast and early warning, but also the early actions have also improved over the years. But still, it is a challenge. It is not the challenge not only for, say, had this rainfall been a rural area, perhaps it could not have so much of impact. But since it was in urban area like Delhi, it has the adverse impact. So therefore, we have to be cautious. And yes, as you predicted, we gave this type of information. And in the Nowcast scale, we told that heavy intensity rainfall will occur. And first, Nowcast was issued at 1:52 a.m. and the rainfall started at around 3. So therefore, the phenomena occur at night. Of course, that also it has the advantage and disadvantage also. And people will be sleeping, so therefore on air. Yeah. At the same time, the information cannot reach to people and also the action accordingly. But the advantage is that the transport sector is safe because the transport will be minimum during night time. Therefore, transport will not be much affected. So that is the impact. So we have started impact forecast, we are giving impact forecast, but still it is a challenge. I will tell you, it is a challenge globally and also in India. We have to improve further our observation systems so that that scale, by the scale by which this heavy rainfall occurring over the urban areas, we have to improve our observation systems. So we have come up with 3 radars at present in Delhi. 3 more radars also we are coming out to establish in the NCR. In addition to that, there will be automated weather stations and automated rain gauges, just like we have done the urban flooding system for Kolkata, Mumbai, and Chennai. For Delhi also, we have taken up a project in IMD for urban flooding system. There, automated weather station, automated rain gauges will be improved, and also 3 more radars will come up by Minister of Earth Sciences. We are working together. In addition to that, the urban flood warning model, there's a specific model for that purpose. We are working towards that. So we'll have in place a flood warning system for Delhi. So that certainly it will improve the performance in future.
So just to follow up on that, that means it's possible. That means if you improve your observational network and your models a little more, you're saying it is theoretically possible that one day we can predict a cloudburst kind of system 24 hours in advance.
I would like to add the Jacob, sir. Sir, I came to know that Ayanagar radar is not functioning for many months. How true it is, sir?
No, the animation what I showed you, that is Ayanagar radar only. Jitendra ji, the radar what I showed you, that is the Ayanagar radar. Okay. So what I want to say that the cloudburst phenomena is not yet predicted globally. Okay. It is still challenged. People are working towards that. So, for example, now we have introduced two important models for predicting the intense rainfall activity or thunderstorm activity in the nowcast scale. So, okay, objective will be to improve the nowcast. As I told you, we've started giving nowcast only to 152, so 1.5 hours lead time. So that needs improvement. We have to improve it to 3 to 6 hours. That is very short forecast. Then, of course, time will come when you go for 1 or 2 days advance time. But when there is a large-scale synaptic system, there it becomes easier. In this case, it was not a large-scale synaptic system, unlike, say, for example, Uttarakhand episode, Kedarnath episode in 2013 or 2021. That was a large-scale system. The low-pressure area was sitting over West UP. So that was easier. And whenever you have a large-scale synaptic system, there you have got the mesoscale converting systems embedded in different parts. Heavy rainfall prediction becomes easier. But if there is no low pressure system, it occurs as a distant effect, just like this occurred. There is a low pressure system, Bay of Bengal, which held in much incursion in 1 year towards and stable circulation over Delhi that led to this type of activity. It becomes more difficult. But still, to resolve this type of activity, you need more intense observational systems, and that we are planning, as I explained to you.
Thank you, sir.
Sir Jayashree here from Hindustan Times.
Yes, madam.
I just wanted to ask, sir, how many radars do we have right now? You said 3 are going to be added.
Yes, at present we have got 3 radars. For redundancy, we have to keep radars for 2 purposes, I'll tell you. One is that the radar should be there for redundancy. One radar may go wrong, another radar should pick up, or 2 radars should pick up. Number 1. Number 2 is that just like दिया के नीचे आप दिया के नीचे जो अंधेरा होता है, ओके, एक दीप आप रखेंगे तो इसका नीचे अंधेरा होता है. So radar जहाँ होता है, इसका just in that place, radar cannot take any observations. Okay, so therefore you should have a radar little away, so that it can cover the area where radar is. So therefore you need multiple radars. The third point is that the combination of radars also will give you better understanding of the microphysical properties of various types of clouds developing in a particular area, because different radars have different properties also in different frequencies and different wavelengths. So we have 3 radars present and 3 more radars we are planning for the NCR.
Okay, so one more question. We also had an extreme heat scenario before monsoon onset over Delhi before the extreme rain episode. So in terms of forecast, do you find it that the heat wave predictions are better or than extreme rainfall predictions? Just your views and what you're seeing on that.
Yeah, I told you about the heat wave performance and how it occurred and all these things, our performance, how it is good this year compared to previous years. So it has improved by 10 to 15%. At the same time, if you want to know what is the relationship, yes, once you have got a continuous spell of heat wave, the atmosphere is the one, and one atmosphere has the capacity to hold more moisture. If temperature is high, it has got a higher capacity to hold moisture. So if your atmosphere has the capacity to hold more moisture, there is the capacity to cause more rain. Okay, and that is what the climate change phenomena explains. With the rise in temperature, global temperature by 1 degree, the humidity in the atmosphere increases by 7%. Therefore, the continuous prevalence of the heat wave conditions in Northwest India, the moisture holding capacity of the atmosphere, and hence the increasing probability of occurrence of heavy rainfall immediately which occur over the region.
Hi, sir. I am Rishabh. Sir, my question is regarding Eastern India. So last 2 years, we are seeing that in Eastern India, the rainfall has been the cumulative southwest monsoon rainfall has been below long period average, and this year also we have forecasted that it should be below normal. So is there a downward shift in rainfall trends in the eastern India, sir? We would like to know your view. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Sanjay. Yeah, you told the fact. Last 2 years we have got below normal rainfall activity, especially you can say Bihar, East UP, some parts of again West Bengal and Jharkhand, especially East UP and Bihar, that has continuously got less rainfall activity. Now, this year, if you just look at the forecast, seasonal forecast that we issued earlier, it was not showing that type of below normal rainfall activity, but Odisha and adjoining areas of West Bengal, Jharkhand, and Chhattisgarh, that is predicted to have the probability of below normal rainfall activity for the season as a whole. For July month, if you just look at, there are certain pockets. It is not the large scale below normal activity, but certain pockets of Western Bihar, certain pockets of Eastern UP, it is showing that there could be below normal rainfall activity. But if I consider the state as a whole, it is not showing that it will become, because there is above normal activity over the western part of the UP and also over the eastern part of the Bihar. So therefore, if taking together, if you want to find out what will happen for the state as a whole, it may become the normal rainfall activity in the month of July.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Sir, I have a question. So IMD says that the overall rainfall in July is likely to be above normal. So does that also mean that we have a higher probability of heavy rains also, considering what we witnessed last year? And what is IMD's warning in that aspect? And secondly, sir, which are the states which could see some lesser than normal rainfall? You said eastern parts of UP, Bihar, and yeah.
Yeah, thank you, Srishti. Once we've got the forecast of above normal rainfall activity, that certainly indicates that the probability of occurrence of heavy rainfall will be higher. And especially if you just look at the western parts of the countries like Himachal Pradesh, Uttarakhand, Jammu, and that is foothills of the Himalayas in the western parts, we are expecting the above normal rainfall activity. So therefore, this is the region where you can have the devastating impact in terms of the cloudburst or heavy rainfall, leading to landslides, floods, etc. And many rivers also originate from that area. This is one thing. The second thing is that the central part also, if you look at Godavari, Mahanadi, other basins also, we are expecting higher than normal rainfall activity. So therefore, there also the probability of occurrence of floods will be higher as compared to normal rainfall activity. But if you look at the northeastern states, Assam and adjoining areas, so there we are expecting below normal rainfall activity. So therefore, the probability of flood may be less in the month of July. Yeah, East UP and Bihar, it is a mixed forecast. In certain pockets, there is, you can say, Gorakhpur, Raksal area that there we are expecting below normal rainfall activity, like that in the western parts of the Bihar. But there are certain areas where also we have the above normal rainfall activity. People are mixed response about East UP and Bihar area. And then you asked something else. I could not.
No, just this part.
मैं अजय बोल रहा हूँ संदेश न्यूज से, गुजराती चैनल से।
बोलिए सुशील जी।
नहीं, अजय बोल रहा हूँ, अजय यादव सर, संदेश न्यूज से।
अजय जी बोलिए, अजय जी।
हाँ सर, क्योंकि हमारा चैनल तो गुजरात से रिलेटेड है, तो गुजरात के बारे में जुलाई माह का थोड़ा सा प्रेडिक्शन आप बताइए।
गुजरात के लिए जो पूर्वानुमान हम आज जारी किए हैं, इसके हिसाब से नॉर्मल टू एबो नॉर्मल रेनफॉल होने का संभावना है दोनों गुजरात रीजन में और सौराष्ट्र कच्छ एरिया में। जहां तक आप देखें तो गुजरात रीजन जो है, नॉर्थ गुजरात और साउथ गुजरात रीजन में रिलेटिवली सौराष्ट्र कच्छ के कंपैरिजन पे वहाँ प्रोबेबिलिटी ज्यादा है एबो नॉर्मल रेनफॉल होने का।
और
टेम्परेचर की बात करें तो मिनिमम टेम्परेचर, जैसे रेनफॉल ज्यादा होगा, क्लाउडीनेस ज्यादा रहेगा, तो मिनिमम टेम्परेचर ज्यादा ही होगा। क्लाउडी नाइट इज वार्मर नाइट, इसलिए गुजरात, एंटायर गुजरात को हम एक्सपेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि वहाँ मेनी डेज में टेम्परेचर एबो नॉर्मल रहेगा। और मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर बात करें तो जैसे बारिश होगा तो डे टेम्परेचर यूजुअली कम हो जाता है, इसलिए गुजरात रीजन में डे टेम्परेचर ज्यादातर इलाके में नॉर्मल से कम होने का संभावना है, और सौराष्ट्र कच्छ में कोस्टल एरिया में एबो नॉर्मल टेम्परेचर रहने का संभावना है।
ठीक है सर, थैंक यू।
डॉक्टर साहब, मेरा एक सवाल है। मैं चंडीगढ़ से बोल रहा हूँ, दैनिक
हाँ
भास्कर।
बोलिए। चलिए।
आपने बहुत महत्वपूर्ण जानकारी दी, आप इतने लंबे समय से बता रहे हो, बहुत अच्छी जानकारी दी, बहुत अच्छा लगा। हमें हमारे दो स्टेट हैं, हरियाणा और पंजाब, दोनों स्टेट्स में ये मानसून सबसे ज्यादा मुझे लगता है वेरी करता है, क्योंकि यहाँ पे ना धान का बहुत बड़ा रकबा है, करीब 48 लाख हेक्टेयर में, जो थ्रू आउट पैन इंडिया चावल और विदेशों में भी करीब 120 कंट्रीज में जाता है। तो एक यहाँ पे लोगों को ये रहता है, कई जगह मानसून मतलब बरसात नहीं भी होती तो भी डिक्लेयर कर दिया जाता है। एक तो ये क्वेश्चन है मेरा। दूसरा ये है कि अभी जुलाई में पे पूरा का पूरा धान जो भी हमारी रोपाई होनी वो निर्भर है, तो जुलाई में आपने कहा कि सामान्य से थोड़ा ज्यादा रहेगा, अबव 106 तक। क्या हरियाणा पंजाब का दोनों का हमें पता लग सकता है कि कितना रह सकता है? क्योंकि ये नहीं, आप चंडीगढ़ से बहुत अच्छी जानकारी देते हैं, आप IMD से, लेकिन आपके मुख से आए तो और अच्छा लगे।
हमारे थैंक यू। तो हमारे बहुत तरीके का पूर्वानुमान होता है। एक तो सीबीएस फोरकास्ट सिस्टम है, हम सीजन का फोरकास्ट शुरू करते हैं, इसके बाद मंथली फोरकास्ट देते हैं। ये दोनों फोरकास्ट, सीजनल और मंथली फोरकास्ट, हमारा जो क्लाइमेट रिसर्च एंड सर्विस डिवीजन है पुणे में, वहाँ जनरेट किया जाता है, और इसको हम आज प्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं। इसको फॉलो करते हुए हर हफ्ते में थर्सडे को अगले 2 हफ्ते में बारिश कैसे रहेगा इसका जानकारी दिया जाता है। इसको एक्सटेंड रेंज फोरकास्ट बोलते हैं। ये दिल्ली में हमारा एक एक्सटेंड रेंज फोरकास्ट ग्रुप है, वो डेवलप करते हैं, और हमारा चंडीगढ़ में जो ऑफिस है वो इसको डिसेमिनेट करते हैं हरियाणा, पंजाब और चंडीगढ़ के लिए। और जो दिन भर जो फोरकास्ट जाता है, मेट्रोलॉजिकल सब डिवीजन जैसे एक ही है, हरियाणा, चंडीगढ़, दिल्ली एक मेट्रोलॉजिकल सब डिवीजन है, पंजाब दूसरा सब डिवीजन है। ये फोरकास्ट हमारे जो दिल्ली ऑफिस है वहां से इशू होता है, मगर वो कोई अकेला इशू नहीं करते हैं। ये एक वीडियो कॉन्फ्रेंसिंग होता है हर दिन 10:30 बजे। जितना फोरकास्टर है पूरे कंट्री में सभी ज्वाइन करते हैं, सभी विचार रखते हैं, सभी मेट्रोलॉजिकल ऑब्जर्वेशंस को मैंने विचार को लिया जाता है, और लगभग 7 न्यूमेरिकल वेदर प्रेडिक्शन मॉडल्स हम मिनिस्टर ऑफ आर्थ साइंसेस में, इंडियन इंस्टीट्यूट ऑफ मेट्रोलॉजी, नेशनल सेंटर फॉर वेदर फोरकास्टिंग, IMD मिलकर रन करते हैं। इसको जितना इसका पूर्वानुमान है इसको हम ध्यान में रखते हुए एक डिसीजन सपोर्ट सिस्टम है हमारे पास। इसमें इसको कंपेयर करते हैं, कंपेयर करके एनालिसिस करके फाइनल फोरकास्ट, कुछ कंसेंसस फोरकास्ट डेवलप होता है। लेकर फिर हमारा जो ऑफिस चंडीगढ़ में है, नेट सेंटर है स्टेट के लिए, उन्होंने लोकेशन स्पेसिफिक और डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल पे ईच डिस्ट्रिक्ट में क्या फोरकास्ट होगा इसका जानकारी देते हैं। मैं आपको आज का जो जानकारी है इसको मैं बताना चाहता हूँ कि जुलाई महीने के लिए नॉर्मल टू एबव नॉर्मल रेनफॉल होने का संभावना है पंजाब, हरियाणा, चंडीगढ़ में।
This is Abhimanyu Sharma from CNBC TV 18 news channel. Sir, I wanted to.
थोड़ा एक मिनट वेट कर लीजिए, मैं कंप्लीट कर दूं जो पूछ रहे थे। इसके साथ आप टेम्परेचर की बात करें, वो टेम्परेचर जो मिनिमम टेम्परेचर है उस एरिया में और मैक्सिमम टेम्परेचर जो है एरिया में, वो दोनों नॉर्मल के लगभग रहने का संभावना है, नहीं तो कुछ एरिया में बिलो नॉर्मल हो सकता है। ओके, ये जो एरिया है पंजाब हरियाणा, हम सभी को जानते हैं कि यहाँ अच्छा इरिगेशन फैसिलिटी भी है, फिर भी बारिश का भी बहुत जरूरी होता है, और इसका इम्पैक्ट भी बहुत सारे जो रिजर्वायर्स है नंगा होकर इसके ऊपर इम्पैक्ट पड़ता है। वाटर रिजर्वायर का मैनेजमेंट, डैम मैनेजमेंट बोलिए और इरिगेशन मैनेजमेंट बोलिए, और जैसे धान के बात किए, सभी के लिए ये रेनफॉल और इरिगेशन पावर दोनों को, एंड ऑल्सो पावर इलेक्ट्रिसिटी पावर, तीनों के साथ मिलावट में इसको यूज करना चाहिए। और जो भी डिजास्टर मैनेजर्स और स्टेक होल्डर्स ये फोरकास्ट को इस तरीके से एक सीमलेस ढंग से यूज करना चाहिए।
थैंक यू सर, थैंक यू।
बोलिए अभिमन्यु जी।
Yeah, sir, I wanted to know that there was a red alert in Delhi with respect to rainfall yesterday, and it was a non-event. And also there was a warning which was issued for later days. So is there still a prediction of heavy rainfall in Delhi NCR for the next few days? And as you said that you are in process of installing more radars, do we expect more accurate prediction, more specific predictions in near future?
मैं मैं लेटर मैन बोल रहा हूँ कि 5 साल पहले की 7 साल पहले में हमारे जो कलीग्स है, मैं एक नारा दिया था, रडार हो या नहीं रडार, नाव कास्ट करें हम इस बार। ये एक नारा हम दिया था और वही नारा के साथ हमने पूरा कंट्री में नाव कास्ट शुरू किया। 1200 प्लेसेस में भी नाव कास्ट जा रहे हैं और ईच एंड एवरी डिस्ट्रिक्ट के लिए नाव कास्ट जा रहे हैं। जहां रडार है वहां नाव कास्ट जा रहे हैं, जहां रडार नहीं है वहां नाव कास्ट भी जा रहे हैं। मगर रडार का फायदा ये होता है कि रडार में आपको हाई रिजोल्यूशन कन्वेक्टिव क्लाउड्स डिटेक्शन हो जाता है और इसलिए एक्यूरेसी ज्यादा हो जाता है नावकास्ट का। सो जो रडार है, हम जब फिर ज्यादा रडार लगाएंगे सर्टेनली इसका नावकास्ट इंप्रूवमेंट होगा और रडार का डाटा भी मॉडल को जाता है और मॉडल परफॉर्मेंस की इंप्रूव होगा और अकॉर्डिंगली हमारा फोरकास्ट परफॉर्मेंस भी बढ़ेगा। जैसे पहले भाई साहब पूछ रहे थे डे 1 माने अगले 24 घंटे के लिए कि अगले 40 घंटे के लिए फोरकास्ट इंप्रूवमेंट हो सकता है। मगर मैं पास्ट देखूं, हम लास्ट 5 इयर्स को कंपेयर करें प्रीवियस 5 इयर्स के साथ, आप देखेंगे कि देयर हैज बीन 30% इंप्रूवमेंट इन फोरकास्ट एक्यूरेसी ऑफ द हेवी रेनफॉल। ऐसा नहीं है कि हम 100% एक्यूरेट है। एट प्रेजेंट हम 24 आवर्स का फोरकास्ट एक्यूरेसी देखें, जैसे हम आपको दिखाया हीट वेव का, अभी 88% एक्यूरेसी है। सिमिलरली हेवी रेनफॉल का फोरकास्ट एक्यूरेसी हमारे पास लगभग 80% है। सो कोशिश होता है, आप बोले कि 5 साल में क्या, 5 साल पहले आपका फोरकास्ट एक्यूरेसी 60% था, अभी 60% से हम बढ़ के अभी 80% तक पहुंचे हैं इन प्रेडिक्टिंग हेवी रेनफॉल 24 आवर्स अहेड। सो जो हम अभी कदम उठा रहे हैं, हमारा टारगेट यही रखे हैं, बाय 2030 फोरकास्ट परफॉर्मेंस विल इंप्रूव बाय another 10%. Clear, Abhinandan ji?
Sir, in last,
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Our accuracy increased to by 30%, sir.
हम देखे पास्ट 5 इयर्स का देखे ना, मैं तो एक एग्जांपल दे दिया आपको। पास्ट 5 इयर्स में हमारा फोरकास्ट एक्यूरेसी लगभग डिफरेंट है। हम टॉकिंग अबाउट हेवी रेनफॉल, हीट वेव, थंडरस्टॉर्म्स और साइक्लोन का आपको पता है पिन पॉइंट फोरकास्ट एक्यूरेसी जाता है। सो 25 to 30% फोरकास्ट इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ है, फोरकास्ट एक्यूरेसी इंप्रूवमेंट हुआ है कंपेयर टू प्रीवियस टाइम।
Hi sir, Sandeep here from Sandeep Das from Financial Express.
हाँ बोलिए संदीप जी।
Sir, the question is basically just to repeat that you said that La Nina condition will develop by month of August and El Nino is currently neutral. So
Yes.
do we expect then heavy rainfall because of the La Nina condition in month of August and September beyond basically?
Yeah, the prediction is that in the second half of monsoon season, that is August, September. I cannot tell you exactly whether it will be beginning of August or end of August, but it is just an assessment that during second half, that is August, September, La Nina condition will develop. Once La Nina condition develops, our study shows that in La Nina years, in most of the La Nina years, I have given this presentation earlier, in most of the La Nina years, Indian monsoon becomes more active, we get good rainfall activity. Once we expect good rainfall activity, and that activity we have seen, it is impact over central India and south peninsular India, activity becomes more, and therefore the frequency of heavy rainfall, we can expect more during the period when you have got La Nina conditions. But more accurate information, it is just projection type, or you can say the assessment based on the relationship between La Nina and monsoon rainfall. But more accurate information can be provided on extended range and medium range forecast.
Thanks, sir. Thank you.
Anyone else?
Sir, Namaskar, Prabhudat here, sir, from Hindu Business Line.
Prabhu ji, namaskar, boliye.
Sir, you said about this above normal forecast for July. So quantitatively, can you reveal what will your prediction for July? And second question is, in state-wise, July gets the highest rainfall in monsoon season. When you are saying above normal rainfall, any state do you see which can get excess rainfall?
That prediction I have presented. So there are two questions here. So second question I will express first. So we have shown you that above normal rainfall activity is expected in many parts of the country, except northeastern states, then of course Ladakh, and here some parts of East UP, some parts of West Bihar, and some areas in Jharkhand, something like that, where below normal rainfall activity is expected. Otherwise, in most of the case, and the probability, just look at the deep blue, the area where you are finding deep blue in the presentation, that is most probable. Where you are getting light blue, it is less probable that rainfall will be above normal. So I would, most of the parts of the country showing that there will be above normal probability for occurrence of rainfall, good rainfall activity in the month of July. Now, quantitatively that forecast we gave earlier, but that we have stopped. Nowadays we are telling only the category, whether it will be above normal rainfall or below normal rainfall or the normal rainfall. So normal is defined as 94% to 106% of the long period average for the month of July, which is roughly 28 centimeters. And this year prediction is that it will be above normal. That means it will be more than 106%. That is lower limit we are telling, upper limit we have not spelled out. So what is the upper limit of the rainfall that we have not spelled out? So lower limit is that at least it will be 106%. Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I think I thank you all for your patience and listening to India Meteorological Department, and especially myself. I also thank all of you for carrying out all our forecast warnings, etc., to the public and stakeholders, and we all work together, and hope we will all work together during this monsoon and face all challenges and serve the country well. So thank you very much. We'll meet again by end of July or beginning of August.
Thank you, sir.